Help us understand, like, how exactly does inflation work, and then what is the reasoning behind why we have the inflationary model we have? Like what's the kind of defense of inflation?
Number one, and it's provided the world a lot of wealth, right? We've been in an inflationary environment for a long time. Our parents grew up in it. Their parents grew up in it, and so on. And it's provided the world a lot of wealth. But in that, the assets go up in price. So if you borrow today with money, you borrow from the bank today, then with inflation, your incomes will rise over time and the money will be worth less, right? And so you pay that money back later on with inflation, with dollars that are worth less, and the asset prices rise. A good example is a house. My parents bought their first house for, I think it was $69,000 in the 70s. That house is worth 1.5 million today. The debt that was paid back, I think they took a $59,000 debt, which was a lot at that time, and they paid it back over time as their incomes rose. So that's the world we live in, and it's not bad. Some people win more, right? The debt holders win more and everything else, and it's not bad. But we've had a structural break, and it's not COVID. The structural break is technology that has changed the rules.
Yeah. And so the current economic system we have was really built for the old world, right? And so if it was built for the old world, maybe describe a little bit about your thought process of like that industrial revolution type world is dying. And what I think you're arguing here is the fact that we need a new economic model for the world we're going into, right? It's kind of like we had an old world with an old economic system. That old economic system matched the world we were in. Now, if the world changes to this technology enabled world, now all of a sudden you're arguing that we actually need a new economic model for the future, correct?
Correct. And if you look at this, you can see it everywhere. By the way, it's all of the evidence points to it, but people are ignoring it because they don't want to believe it. So I'll give some proof points. And so probably the best example that everybody has in their hand is their iPhone or smartphone. That phone, it was only invented not quite 13 years ago, right? And look at the phone, what's on it today. Just about all your apps are free, right? You use Google for free, Waze for free, it's all free. So you have the power more than presidents had 20 years ago, 30 years ago, sitting in the palm of your hands, and it's all free. You can buy, and by the way, it's not deflation bad free. We don't wait for, when the new iPhone comes up, there's a line around the block to buy it, even though you can get last year's for next to nothing on a plan of $20 a month and have everything for free. So that technology deflation is a good thing, right? Our Google searches, or in fact, all of the platform companies, from music to Google to Amazon, they're all created actually using that same example. Technology. You're an investor in technology. I'm very much an investor in technology, and it's a good thing. Every technology executive I work with is trying to do good in the world and provide more efficiency and more abundance using technology, and that comes at the cost of jobs. So that's what's happening overall, and it's accelerating in the world. The only thing masking that is a massive increase in debt and leverage, where you're pulling demand forward from the future with debt that you can never pay back in the future. And so that massive amount of debt and monetary easing in the last 20 years to get negligible inflation rates is $185 trillion to produce $46 trillion of economic return in GDP. So when debt is growing way faster than GDP, you know something's wrong, right? And here's the thing, this is before COVID. This is before everything. I predicted all of these events before they were happening. COVID accelerates the trend to technology, right? And it accelerates. Zoom went from 10 million users to 200 million users in a month. How many of those users don't need the same commercial real estate when they come back out of COVID? And so how much changes, how fast this changes, how fast robotics is changing, how fast AI is moving. People that aren't close to technology don't realize how fast this is moving. And our old systems weren't built for that technology deflation, because if you have deflation, debt explodes in real terms. You can never pay it back. So if you have effectively economy that's built on massive debt creation and you allow deflation, you have to reset the debt. And that's a problem that central bankers all over the world are facing. They don't know what to do, right? And because the system, and so instead of facing the facts, you keep papering over the facts. And every time you paper over the facts, like if you look at the stock market rising because you're juicing the Fed's taking anything off the balance sheets, it's not capitalism. You're picking the pockets of the poor and paying the rich because asset prices go up, and that leads to division of society, revolutions and wars, and there's a reset in that event, and no matter what.